I'm going crazy. 무뎌져.
Their cozy home, Jungkook patiently waited for Wan, his wife, who had returned late from her office. The marriage had begun as an arranged one, but over time Jungkook's love for Wan had grown deep. Yet Wan had never confessed her love to him, always maintaining a cool and distant head. Jungkook owns multiple restaurants in the main city, where he is one of the most famous chefs in the city, while Wan is a fashion designer working under a company. With a huff, Jungkook plopped himself on the couch while he was waiting for her. He started to remember a few last moments they both had together. In the morning, when the sun's gentle rays filtered into the bedroom, waking Jungkook up, he rolled over, looking at the empty space beside him. Her Ryan sleep realized when woken up early and was getting ready for a walk. She avoided eye contact with Jungkook as she had been doing for a while. He got up from the bed while making bed sheets. He tried to start a conversation with a beautiful greeting. Good morning, Ryan. Morning. Jungkook sensed the distance between them, but he knew better than to push her. He tried to make her favorite breakfast, hoping it might lighten her mood. So he quickly had a shower and went down to make a breakfast. But for his bad luck, Ryan grabbed a quick bite without a word and left for work without even complimenting his efforts. Just like always, Jungkook had prepared a special lunch, hoping to spend some quality time with Ryan. When she returned home, he was excited, but her indifference was disheartening. I made your favorite dish today, Ryan. Let's eat together. Ryan barely looking at him. I don't have much time, Jungkook. I only came to pick these files. I'll meet you at dinner. Okay, but eat a little. You must be hungry. Jungkook softly said, looking at him. Ryan nodded in response. She finished her meal hastily and retreated to her office without engaging in any conversation. Jungkook sat looking at plates in front of him. As dinner time approached, Jungkook set the table for two, eager to connect with Ryan. However, Ryan's cold behavior manner persisted, trying to strike up a conversation. How was your day, Ryan? It was fine. Ryan barely had her mind somewhere else. After the meal, she silently excused herself and retreated to her room, leaving Jungkook feeling the weight of her emotional distance. The recurring moment of coldness from Ryan, despite her care for Jungkook, left him feeling unloved and yearning for a deeper emotional connection with his wife. Coming out of his thoughts, he looked at the watch that was striking 11 o'clock at night. He was now getting worried for her. Barely she came late like this, but when she does inform him by message. Meanwhile, Anne found herself at a trendy restaurant surrounded by her colleagues as they chatted about various topics. Eventually, the conversation shifted towards relationships, and her friends couldn't help but ask about her married life. When we have never really heard you talk much about your husband. How is married life treating you? Van's mind raced as she stared into her glass, thinking about him. Come on, Van, spill the beans. You have been married for a while now. What it's like? Van's silence hung heavy in the air as she wrestled with her thoughts. In Van's mind, she reflected on the life she had led. She remembered how she had always been fiercely independent, striving to do everything on her own. Even her parents had offered unwavering support, but she had been determined to prove herself sufficiency. She considered the love Jungkook had for her and how he had cared for her in countless ways. Moments of him trying to create romantic gestures flashed through her memory. Once inner thoughts, I do love him. I see the way he cares for me, but I don't know how to confess. I've always faced hardships alone. When my parents were there for me, I've never known what it means to be a sweet or romantic. I have refused his attempts to connect with me, and I feel guilty for that. In a moment of vulnerability, she reached for a glass and began drinking more. Her memories of Chung's heartfelt efforts to bridge the emotional gap haunting her. The memory of Chung's heartfelt confession echoed in one's mind as she sat with her colleagues, lost in thoughts. That day, Chung was looking into her eyes, his voice filled with sincerity. When there's something I've been wanting to tell. I know our marriage was arranged, but with time passing, I've started to like you. No, actually, I love you more than words can express. You mean the world to me, and I'm grateful for every day we spent together. Van remembered her response, her silence and inability to meet his gaze, but Chung's love for her was unwavering. I know you find it hard to express your feelings. That's okay, I want to be the best husband that I can be for you. No matter what, I'll always cherish you, Van. Van remained low, struggling to accept his worth. Van, what's on your mind? You seem a million miles away. Van shook her head, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. It's just, I remember the moment when Chung confessed his love and I ignored it. He was so kind and loving, and I pushed him away. Why? You're married to him. Shouldn't that mean something? Van's inner turmoil continued to eat at her as she realized the gravity of her actions and her failure to appreciate the deep love Chung had for her. Jungkook jumped on his place. When he heard the doorbell, he walked to the door with quick steps and opened the door. Ryan? He witnessed Ryan smiling childishly while hanging with her friend's arm. Hey, Jungkook, actually, Ryan got a bit drunk, so I came to drop her. Oh, thank you so much. He thanked her and she excused. Jung closed the main door while holding Ryan by her waist and shoulder. He took her inside where she giggled and sweat, her cheeks flushed from the alcohol. Van, usually reserved, starting acting cute, fluttering her eyelashes at Jungkook, leaning in for a hug. Her actions confused him, but he couldn't help but smile at her tipsy charm. She began to speak romantically, but mixed in some playful humor. Jungkook, you know, you're the most amazing person ever, she slurred, a dreamy look in her eyes. You make my heart do somersaults. Jung's eyes widened for a moment, but then he chuckled at her words, but knew she was in no condition to be up and about. He gently tried to guide her towards the bedroom, but she pouted and refused, behaving more like a child than a grown woman. Mr. Jungkook, Van clung to him, her fingers intertwined with his, and she confessed, I love you, I really do, I don't know how to tell you when I'm not tipsy. Jung's heart skipped a beat, taken aback by her sudden confession. He couldn't believe in ears when who had been so closed off, fast now pouring out her feelings in her inebriated state. She stumbled by his loose grip, but before she felt his grip again tighten around her waist, she giggled. He was still staring at her. Her beautiful hands went up to cup his cheeks. Her hurt eyes stared in his. She leaned and pecked his cheek. Oh, look who's blushing. She giggled and poked his cheek, where his face was getting red. Fine, let's go to the bedroom. Van shook her head on his words, making an annoyed face. Mr. Jung, here I'm trying to be romantic with my dear husband, and you want me to go to the bedroom? For what? Jung softly smiled and spoke while removing her hands from his cheek. Van, you're not in your senses, and firstly, rest tonight, and tomorrow morning you can tell me everything, and I promise I will not say a word in between. Van made a thinking face. She looked at Jungkook and nodded. Okay, but I'm not lying. I really love you and I'm angry at myself. Why are you angry at yourself? Because I kept ignoring you, even after knowing that you love me. Jung's breath hitched, even though he knows bisection. A blind person can't even say that he loves her, but hearing it from her was something else. Oh, okay, now let's go. He managed to get her into the bedroom. One was still trying hard to cling to him, and he don't want to break her trust on him. No, I don't want to sleep. She kept his face in her hands, making a pout of her lips. One stopped and sleep. You're... yeah. Finally tucking her under the cover, somehow he got up to leave, but One reached out for him by holding his wrist. Stay with me, please, she whispered, her eyes filled with affection. Jung, still processing her confession, was confused as heck, but her pleading eyes melted his heart in seconds. He settled beside her, his heart brimming with love. He couldn't resist her affectionate advances. As he laid beside her, she quickly placed her head on his chest like a pillow. A beaming smile appeared on Jung's lips as they cuddled, finally sharing their emotions openly. When it was brought by an influence of... The next morning, when slowly woke up, her eyes fluttering open, she was surprised to find herself alone in the bed. The warmth of Jung's embrace absent because although she is the one to wake up first, even though mostly Jung takes care of cooking and all. She slowly got up, holding her aching head. She washed her face and began to comb her hair, lost in thoughts as she ran the comb through her hair. The memories of the previous nights flooded her mind. She recalled her drunk confession and felt a wave of embarrassment wash over her. How could she have been so reckless? When she finally made her way to the kitchen, Jungkook was already there, preparing a beautiful breakfast. His warm smile greeted her as she entered, but it was laced with curiosity. "Good morning, Van. I hope you're feeling okay after last night." Van's cheeks flushed as she sat down, her embarrassment evident. She thought with her food, not daring to meet his gaze. "I don't remember much about from last night. It's all a bit blurry." Jung reached out gently, taking her hand in his. His eyes held a softness that made her heart flutter. "It's okay, Van. You don't have to be embarrassed. Whatever you said last night, it meant a lot to me. You can let your feelings out, and if you don't want, then it's okay." Van looked into his eyes, searching for judgment or disappointment, but found only understanding and love. Her voice was hesitant, but she finally decided to let her inner feelings out. She confessed, "I do love you, Jungkook. I just don't know how to say it. I have been afraid to show my feelings because I really don't know how this person." Jung smiled within. Before she spoke more, he held her neck and leaned in gently. Her. Their lips met, a sweet, tender connection that symbolized the unspoken love that had lingered between them for so long. "I love you too, and let's not keep our feelings hidden anymore. Because marriage isn't a relationship of awkwardness and embarrassment, but about knowing each other and learning about the world together." Juan smiled. For the first time, she smiled widely in front of him without hesitating. She hugged him tightly. Thank you for not giving up on our relationship."